Join me in welcoming Lauren and Lindsay. They're going to tell you more about it.
Hi everyone, welcome to our presentation, Collaborating with Intent. We will be talking about networking but with a purpose. That's why it's called Collaborating with Intent. We've just gone over what we will be talking about today. First, we'll be going over why networking is important, just some fun facts about it. Then we'll get into a nice icebreaker activity. And then we will actually break out and start networking, putting this to good use. So this is a workshop setting. And so to get into this, I'm actually Lauren Ritter. A little bit about myself, I'm a product designer with the Boeing Company in the digital transformation environment. In our department, we actually are changing the culture in Boeing. We are changing the way people work. We work in balanced teams with a product manager, a product designer, and a pair or two of developers where we work closely together. As a product designer, I am an advocate for the users. I do user research, user interviews, and then I go and I say, this is what the user wants, this is what the user needs, this is why we should do it for the user. And I build the prototypes, I do the wireframing, that sort of thing, and enable for the user. I also help to facilitate product design workshops. In that case, I'm helping to coach other product designers in the Boeing Company and help to coach them in ways that they could do their work differently. I also have experience in mobile design. I help to lead product design critique meetups. This is where product designers, we all get together, we show our work, and we are able to give feedback and recommendations on how we can do things differently. I know I get a lot out of it personally because I'm able to change around my work so that I could improve and do things differently. I know I get stuck in a box oftentimes and definitely don't change anything around until people are like, definitely could do this a little bit better. And just a fun fact, I used to be a performer at the Walt Disney World down in Florida.
Hi everyone, so I'm Lindsay Langley. I am actually on Lauren's team at Boeing, so I'm part of the digital transformation environment, but I'm a product manager. So my role is really being that liaison between the business and the development team, making sure that we are providing the value to the business, but also keeping the users in mind. So I work very closely with Lauren and get those features prioritized so that the development team can actually produce that software. Along those lines, I facilitate a lot of product management workshops. I'm kind of a coach to other product managers in the company to teach them our principles and how we work. I also have a background in finance, and my fun fact is that I also worked at Disney, but I was in the financial reporting department.
A little different. How many of you have heard of a little movie called The Black Panther that came out recently? I kind of figured. How many of you now have heard of how the lead actor got his role? So he actually got it through networking with the director. Chadwick Boseman, he had a few conversations with the director. They just talked. He never went in and auditioned. They just spoke about a role that they had, spoke about the movie, and then he got offered the part. He never had to go through the audition process, never had a callback, never had to do any of that stressful part. This goes to show that 80% of all jobs that are out there are not advertised. Only 20% of all jobs that are out there in the world are advertised to the general public. That means that those that are out there on job websites such as LinkedIn or Glassdoor are those that you actually see on there. So if you're putting in all your efforts to look at those websites, if you're putting 100% of your effort, you're only getting a 20% output. At the same time, on the other end of the spectrum, job recruiters, they're only spending 20% of their time posting jobs. So they're only giving you that 20% exposure. They're only showing you the 20% output that you're getting. Well, what are they spending the rest of their time doing? They're only spending 20% of their time then looking at the resumes. What are they spending most of their time doing then? Well, they're spending 60% of their time out there networking. They're going to their connections, they're talking to people. That director, he knew that he had this actor. He knew that he had someone in mind that he could go and connect with. He already knew he had someone that could do the physicality of the role, that could act the part. So he might as well go talk to him and see if he was interested, and if he was, why go out and audition other actors? So 60% of their time is already spent networking, so it's so crucial to grow your network. In fact, Lindsay and I both got our jobs in the digital transformation environment, or DTE, through networking. I used to be an intern at Boeing as a development intern, but I prefer design. And so our manager heard that there was this development intern who preferred design, and he spoke to one of our colleagues who mentioned about this intern. And then he saw some of my work, and then we had a few phone conversations, went through an interview process, and now I am where I am, loving my job, loving what I do, all through that networking process.
So I don't know about all of you, but whenever I think about networking, I usually just think about what the next job is that I want to get. Who can I talk to that may have an open position or may know of an open position? But what we really need to do is realize that networking is a two-way street. So not only is it about finding that next job, but it's also about what you can give to that relationship as well. Building a network is all about those connections that you make and making sure that you stay in touch with those connections. So don't ever feel afraid to reach out and ask someone for help to find a job, but also reach out to see if you can help someone. In addition to this, when I go into networking events, I like to keep a goal in mind. I like to figure out what my goal is so that I know who I need to go talk to and who I need to meet when I'm there. So those goals can range from needing a new job, or looking to start a company, or wanting to join a new industry and finding people that align with those goals. It could be to find a mentor. You really want to grow your career, so who out there can help you with that and navigate that journey? It can be that you want to find a mentee. You're really passionate about helping people grow their careers and you want to reach out to them and help others. So just make sure that when you're going into these events, you have a goal in mind of what outcomes you want. All right, so let's get started. We're going to do a quick icebreaker. What we're going to do is you're going to split up into about 6 groups, and we're going to give you a beach ball. When you get that beach ball, you're going to hand or toss it to someone in the group. Wherever your right thumb lands, that's the question that you're going to answer. After you answer the question, you're going to hand or toss it to someone else. That person is then going to ask you a follow-up question about your response. And then the person with the beach ball is going to ask or answer the question that their right thumb has landed on. And you're just going to keep doing this until everyone in your group has had the opportunity to answer a question. And we'll give you about 7 minutes, because then we have another little activity. If you saw the cards on your seat when you came in, we'll get into that whenever we get there. But Lauren and I are going to demonstrate first.
Don't worry if you're not athletic, because neither am I. What is the best piece of advice you've ever been given? The best piece of advice I've ever been given, as I mentioned before, I am both a performer and I love IT. They're both my passion. And the best piece of advice I've ever been given is to never give up one for the either, to always keep continuing to do both.
I was afraid I wasn't going to catch it. How does that work time-wise? Do you have enough time to do everything?
It actually works quite well. So during the day, I work for Boeing, and that helps me to pursue my passion for IT. And at night, I actually volunteer for a theater where I teach performing arts to children. And that helps me to pursue my passion for theater. And it actually feeds into my IT skills, where it helps with my facilitation skills. So I'm keeping them together. Great.
What activity helps you relieve stress? I actually love going to the gym. I go to the gym every morning before work. It just kind of helps just relieve that stress, reduce anxiety, help me get my mind in the right frame for that day. So then at this point, I would toss it to someone else. They would ask me a follow-up question, and so on. All right, so let's break up into about 6 groups. Make sure you're in a group with people that you don't know, so that you can get new people.
right, everybody doesn't know me.
All right, we hope you all enjoyed that activity. Now that the ice is broken, we want you to actually connect now that this is a networking workshop. We want everyone to actually network and build your connections since we see why it is so important, what we can all build out of it. Now that we hear everyone talking and you have some key talking points, everyone in general had the same questions, so those are some key starting points that you can really use to talk to really anyone in the room. So we have some cards if you want to do the old-fashioned way of connecting with paper and pencil. Also feel free to use your phone. There's the LinkedIn Bump app. I know you can connect on LinkedIn. You can, use technology, or feel free to use paper and pencil. But feel free to connect with one or two, even more people in your group or outside of your group using the cards we provided, or again, technology. Also feel free to connect with Lindsay and I. We love building our network as well. And we're going to set you free for the rest of the time to go and network. Thank you so much for attending this workshop, and we hope that you really grow your network through it. Thank you.
Very good.